The day the rain forgot how to fall was the day Elara's world quietly unraveled. It didn't storm or drizzle, it simply hung there, a billion glistening teardrops suspended in the air, painting the city in a distorted, shimmering haze. People walked through the frozen downpour, their faces etched with a confusion so deep it bordered on awe, their hair and clothes brushed by diamonds of motionless water. For Elara, a sound archivist who found comfort in the rhythm of the world, the silence was the most deafening part. The familiar percussion on rooftops, the gurgle in the gutters, it had all been replaced by a breathless, impossible pause. Her first instinct was to record the silence, to document this aberration. But as she adjusted her sensitive microphones, she captured something else entirely. A whisper, not through the air, but seemingly within the suspended droplets themselves. It was a faint, harmonic hum, a single, repeating note of profound sorrow that vibrated through her headphones and settled deep in her bones. This was no meteorological event. It was a message, and she was, it seemed, the only one who could hear it. If you're captivated by mysteries that defy explanation, consider subscribing to our channel. We delve into the unknown, and your support helps us bring these enigmas to light. Driven by an obsession she couldn't name, Elara began to map the sound, its intensity fluctuating across the city. The hum led her to the old botanical gardens, a place where the frozen rain hung like a crystal curtain between the trees. There, the sorrowful note was joined by another, a dissonant chord of pure fear that made the glass of her recorder vibrate. Pushing through the petrified waterfall of a willow tree, she found the second mystery, a perfect circle of ground, bone-dry and untouched by the stalemate overhead. In its center sat a single, ancient-looking stone, humming with that same terrified frequency. It was an anchor point in a world unmoored. That night, the news showed experts baffled, but Elara, listening not to their words but to the ambient silence, heard a third layer. Beneath the pervasive hum, a new pattern emerged, a frantic, staccato rhythm pulsing from the suspended water outside her window. It was a code, a desperate SOS tapped out in a language of vibration. She realized the droplets weren't just holding water. They were holding time, emotion, and a plea for help from something, or someone. The very laws of nature were being used as a prison. The plot, like the rain, was thickening, and we're just getting started. Don't forget to hit that bell icon so you don't miss the moment everything changes. The climax arrived not with a bang, but with a shift. The harmonic note of sorrow from the garden suddenly spiked into a scream of warning an instant before the stone in the dry circle cracked. As it split in two, the frozen rain in the immediate vicinity fell all at once in a crashing deluge. But it was wrong. The water that hit the ground was thick, black, and oily, smelling of ozone and forgotten ages. It began to pool and coalesce, drawing the light into it, a stain of absolute nothingness spreading across the grass. The fearful hum from the stone hadn't been a cry of its own. It had been a containment field, and she had just witnessed its failure. Elara knew what she had to do. This was a fracture, a wound in reality itself. The suspended rain wasn't the anomaly. It was a desperate, system-wide buffer, a pause button pressed by the world to prevent this exact corruption from seeping through. The sorrowful hum was the world's own pain, the coded SOS a maintenance manual she now intuitively understood. She ran back to her archive, grabbing a massive tuning fork used for calibrating equipment. As the blackness began to bleed towards the city, she struck the fork against the cracked stone, its pure, resonant note cutting through the dissonance. She didn't fight the darkness. She sang to the rain. One by one, the suspended droplets began to vibrate in unison with her note, their hum shifting from sorrow to resolve. The entire city became a choir, a symphony of aligned frequencies. The black stain recoiled, repelled by the collective harmony, and was drawn screaming back into the fissure in the stone, which sealed itself with a final, deafening chime. And then, with a sigh of relief that echoed through the streets, the rain finally fell. A normal, gentle shower that washed the world clean. The final twist wasn't what she saved, but what she remembered. As the people cheered and danced in the downpour, Elara alone recalled the true event. The rain had never stopped. It had been falling all along. The suspension, the hum, the fracture. It had all happened in a nanosecond, a cosmic battle fought in the space between heartbeats. Her ability to perceive it meant she wasn't just an archivist. She was a mechanic. And the universe, she now knew with chilling certainty, was a machine that was starting to break down. The real question is, what will happen when the next component fails? If you want to be there when we uncover the next piece of the puzzle, make sure you're subscribed.